Oop. I frills up. Frills down. Alright, we're good. Okay. So that's taking up a lot of the... There's a little arm heating up. My tub of paints currently. Still trying to figure out where to set this properly. That looks okay, I think. Get my phone out of the way. Random flunk on here. That's easy. Oop, there we go. Oh, alright, well, anyways, listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. For you guys coming from the future. I'm missing his tail. In the tub. Better be in the tub. I don't want to go back upstairs. I can't bring you guys along for the ride if I gotta go back upstairs. I gotta go upstairs. We're gonna start with painting him. So before a bunch of people get in, I will be right back. Yeah. Okay. Got his tail. I thought I was prepared. I brought literally everything down. I even brought down extra stuff. But I wanted to wait till today. Actually, the other thing I didn't properly prepare is I should have made sure I had the right gray that I want to use, because apple barrel gray, I think, is going to be the perfect gray for this thing. Problem is, I don't know if I have any more of it. Oh, I do. Okay, we got some here. This gray. The cheap 99-cent Walmart gray. It's like a gray, almost like a tinge brown. And I think it's going to be perfect for doing this guy. Did he break? No, he didn't break. I was just going to say, I had to go upstairs. His tail likes to pop off periodically. Oh, thank you, Kaiju Master, for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully there should be a little thingy that pops up. It might take a minute. I have it on here. It's set up. It's enabled. I'm curious. Now I want to watch to see if it actually... Ooh, actually, where does it sit on here? Okay, should be up in that corner if it pops in. I'm hoping. Here's hoping. So anyways, so the progress I've done so far with Orga, make it a little easier for you guys to see. But he is primered up. There's going to probably be a couple of sections. Oh, he's got a little bit of monster clay on his foot. I don't know how he got that, how that got there. But he's all primered up, ready to go there. And how I did the primering was... I missed a spot right there. That'll be fine. We're going to be covering up anyways. But it's a mix of these two, the Villagos, I think is how you say it. Black and gray primer with a little bit of Model Master dark blue is how I got the tinge here for the base coat. So we're gonna be dry brushing him with a little bit of apple barrel. But for you four people that are currently on, I might bust it out here in a little bit if we get enough time. But I'm also currently working on sculpting a figure to turn into a sort of like Sofubi-esque figure. So it'll be like a hollow, technically it'll be resin, but it'll be like hollow and should hopefully feel like something akin to like a movie monster series Bandai or like a Marmot sort of X Plusy. And I have most of the head sculpted for the one I'm going to start with first. This is meant to be sort of like movie monster series style. You might know this monster to be from Godzilla Unleashed. This is Obsidious, I think is how you say his name. I currently have his head majority wise done. Oh, you think so? I think Orga's probably we're probably gonna be waiting a minute. I think. Because what we got Monster X, we got Mecha. We don't have the Godzilla for the Mecha technically. If I was a betting man, I think we would probably see more Heisei monsters popping up here and there before we get an Orga. That or MonsterArts announces their Orga, then yes, we will 100% see the higher one coming out there. But majority wise, like I said, I got the head mostly kind of set up how I want it, with the cracks running down. I got to do a little bit of that same cracking on his spikes on the back of the head here. And I got the lava texturing on the neck. I worked on the inside of the mouth a little bit. Gave him some nostrils because it kind of looks like the 3D model has nostrils. It's good. It's kind of my own interpretation of it. It's not like I said. We're not making it exactly like the kaiju because I would like to sell this. So, um, I'm making them look a little bit more realistic. Well, give them a little bit more realism to them. But I think so far, like the lava effect, I think is going to look cool because I'm hoping to cast them in like a clear orange, so you'll have that lava look to them, and then do all the dry brushing on top. So hopefully it'll be something like relatively easy to paint, but I won't have to do much to make them look good. Here's the other parts. I got them kind of roughly set up to the shapes that I want. So, for instance, this is currently how his body is because that's sort of I got it set up to where each of the limbs will sit how I want to next to it. But I need to do every single limb and get that sort of how I want sculpted. And then I can finish up with the body so I can mold everything on the body around the limbs. So the other one I started on is doing his, I guess it would be the right arm, is I got the shoulder mostly set up. Kind of look like a bunch of rocks fused together is the look I'm going for. And then got the middle section here kind of flattened out, and then started getting the shape for parts of the arm. He technically has like a little elbow rock thing here, so I'm going to put a little rock there and then do the lava through here. So I'll be working on him like on and off for probably the next like week or two. And hopefully getting him relatively set up, and then we'll be shifting to trying to make a Sofubi. Because it's kind of a mess back here. But you'll see on the floor back there, that dude, that's a rotocaster, which is the thing I needed in order to even attempt this. Because what that does is it actually, if you make a silicone mold and you fill it with like a little bit of resin, I have to figure out the volumes still, like what ratio I need to go with. But you fill the mold partially with the resin and then it spins it so that it'll coat everything. And then from there, while it's doing that, it'll harden, and then that's what's going to give it that like Sofubi style. So I'm excited for that. One thing I really need to do though is we need to dry brush Orga here. I at least have to get him dry brushed today. So like I said, we're going to go with just basic apple barrel gray. I would like to work a little bit on Zombiezilla. He's the other one that's currently sitting out here. I could show him off a little bit more once we get Orga dry brush. hopefully don't need too much of this stuff. So I'm pretty much going to be going over the entire thing with the apple barrel, and then lightly over top of that, I'm going to do a little bit of like metallic silver. Probably some rub and buff and just hit some like really high points with it. So this is just going to lightly go over it. More than likely, I'm probably going to have to do this once or twice. And then a little trick for some of these areas where I kind of mucked up. Not fully got primer some of the recesses. Is I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of the gray to kind of cover it up. Hopefully everybody's night's going well. It'd be cool if they did. I'd buy it. I'd buy that thing in a heartbeat. So I will say, I think we will only see a Haya if MonsterArts announces one. Let's see. I gotta turn this so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing here. No, I can see it'd be cool if they took some initiative on that one. Actually, gave us a month, like gave us a Godzilla that we actually haven't gotten a figure of. Honestly, I could see it would be a good one to do because with each of the like with if they did make like a movie version of Godzilla, they could just recolor it to just look animated. Like they don't have to. Like it'd be nice to have a new sculpt, but it's one of those ones I could see them just recoloring it, and honestly, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. Let's do dry brushing too. Is I always love how fast the paint dries while you're doing this. Like we just did the top, and I could already touch it. More likely, I'm probably going to do with this back piece here, since there's now that I got it under a little bit more harsh lighting. I see a couple of spots here, and I know watching the movie that these sections here have a little bit darker, so I'll probably come back through with that primer to hit that like a shade of that color to hit those sections there with a little bit. Maybe just do like a little light wash. Probably do the trick. Upper body's looking pretty good though. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't really gotten too many Orga figures, just because I think out of the Millennium Kaijus, I feel like a lot of people, it's probably what most people's favorite monster from the Millennium series. Like, I definitely say he's mine. Like, out of all like the unique monsters that showed up out of the Millennium, I always really liked Orga. He just wanted some Godzilla DNA, some of that Dino DNA. So far, you been enjoying them? I haven't really. I was never that into He-Man growing up. I think I had a couple of the toys that I gotten from like a Goodwill or some resale shop that I would play at my grandma or my great grandma's house. But that was pretty much like the extent of my He-Man. I do think they're neat though. I think we picked up we picked up the Skeletor because I thought he was cool. I ended up using him for parts as parts for a commission, but I did have him for a second. I think a sword still hangs out around here. Now, what I've been kind of hoping that somebody would do is for Thundercats. There was the one that came out in like the 2010s. I would love to see somebody do like updated figures of those. I'd buy that. I'd buy that, and then same with the Netflix Voltron. If they would make like figures of the actual like characters, I would also buy those. They made like a couple of them for the Playmates line. I don't think I ever seen them in stores, but I really wanted them. Hey, Georgina. I did watch a bit of the Netflix show, which was alright. I don't think I liked. I didn't like it enough that I felt like I really needed to be buying some figures for it. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way the end results for this. The one thing I don't really like the back elbows. There's not really too much I could do about that. the way I set him up to solve that problem. Because you can still see, I tried to hide it, but you can see like a little bit of like the elbow from the figure that I used in order to get it to articulate to begin with. Yeah, it's one of those like display shelf wise, it's a area that I don't think is going to be the most noticeable thing ever. Oh yeah, Reptar would be sweet. Reptar would be sweet. I wouldn't be that excited for it, but I would buy it. Is that they did a Hanna Barbera one? Like I have the Mondo statue because so I have just like a representation. Even though it's still not like my favoriteest thing ever. In terms of Godzilla, he used to be was my least favorite for the longest time. And then the Netflix animes happened, and then I realized he wasn't so bad. He wasn't so bad. That finger, I gotta glue back in. Ah! And there it goes. Let's try it again, but this time with more feeling. Okay. We're gonna leave him alone to kind of harden for a bit. More than likely, I'll probably be doing like one more solid pass with this, just to try to get it closer to that color, which we may or may not do on stream. Next, moving back onto this guy, Mr. Zombiezilla. Rawr. For the most part, he's majority wise done. Kind of can make his organs look a little bit more like organs. But his bone colors look good. Face is looking pretty gnarly. Yeah, Zombiezilla. Just rawr. You know, after a hardened up, that does the trick I used here isn't that bad. Is yeah, you'll see here he's got like the gnash teeth. Hold on, if I can find my phone, I will bust out the light so you guys can see it a little better. See his face, where his jaw is dislocating and just kind of hanging on from a bone on this side. Once I get him painted, he's gonna have a little bit of like red resin that I'm gonna try to make it look like the blood's dripping from there. Same with on the legs too. But so far, he's been looking pretty good. There's a few places I gotta touch up. Also, for some odd reason, I thought I had his tail pretty tight, but one trick with these is that they're a little loose. You can just twist the bendy wire on the inside. Although I think because I did this already, I think I'm going in the wrong direction. So I have to keep kind of contorting it until it does its thing. Yeah, because now I can feel it tightening up a little bit. It's holding the pose a little bit better. I know his legs I'm gonna have to tighten just a little bit before I send this out. But for him, I gotta add a little bit of black there and do the bloodied sections. I gotta add a little bit of black around the jaw, which I did grab a brush to do that with. I'll get you guys a little closer so you can kind of see what I'm doing. But right here is his back foot. I did a little bit of sculpting. It's got a little bit of this black primer. Around here. The main reason I did this is I have no idea where his original foot that I had printed out went. And I had an extra one, but it was for the wrong side. So I made it look like something took the meat off his feet and his little toe. Yeah, this entire figure has just been how can I make a bad thing into a positive? And I think the depressing thing is how much time I spent on this. I cannot get the money back for some of this. Definitely the most work I put into one of these. That is for sure. Need a little bit of black there. It's a little way too red. Dude, I got a Q-tip. There we go. Just dab that up a little bit. That looks better. A little bit of the excess paint. Here and there. And then we'll do a little bit of red dry brushing and such to mess with that. Because like I said, I'm going to be adding some like red resin here for like over top of some of these blood effects. One, to help kind of keep it in, and two, to make it look nice and shiny. So the paint's just got to be like subtly there. Also, I'm just realizing it's because I painted the foot, doesn't have the black over the stripe here for the scales. So I gotta add that in. Also gotta paint that toe real quick. So I'm just gonna use the black primer. It works pretty good. Oh, hope you guys see what I'm doing. Also, hope I didn't have the flashlight still on. Jeez. It's just those, I can see a small speck of the original of the toe. Just like a little bit of that scale. It'll be fine. I hope I was to kind of get him finished painted today. And then I can do the fun goring up part with the UV light and some resin tomorrow. I'm also excited. My anime DVD I bought is coming in Thursday that I spent way too much money on. But it's an anime that you can't get. It's not any streaming service, and you can't really find the English dubbed anywhere. And for old shows that I really enjoyed. I like getting the physical, the hard copies, anyways. It's not a scalper. The thing's been out since like mid 2010s probably. It's a decently old it's a DVD if that's any indication. But it was like not the biggest release, and unless you're are very like akin to like old animes, you probably don't really know what it is anyways. Outside of the Dark Horse has been reissuing the like manga that they used to do in comic books. Uh I wouldn't say that. Because the newest one I got he's actually hanging out here, which is the 2000. And personally, like with this guy, there's nothing really different with him than I've seen with any other MonsterArts. Because ever since I've been collecting online, the eyeballs can be an issue. And joints can be kind of wild depending on the figures. Because I have all Godzilla figures, the joints are a bit loose in certain spots. I would say my biggest critique with this man here is I think his toes could have been painted better, but I think that's just more not really a quality control issue, it's just the way they decided to do it. So why is your one toe extra shiny? Did I get glue on you? He's been kind of hanging out down here while I'm working on stuff. He might have got something on him. Okay, so we got that. I need another brush and some. Not Scarlet Red. Scarlet Red looks kind of tomatoey. We don't want that. Hey, Canadian. Also appreciate you all coming to check out the stream. You could like, commenting also is cool because commenting bumps us up on the algorithm. Don't spam, but I do appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully we'll have him wrapped up fairly soon, and then I could do the. Damn it! I looked at chat. Now I got red on my toe. That's fine. It's just added blood. It's fine. Just adding a little bit of dry brushing some red over top of what we just did. Like I said, we don't gotta go too crazy with the paint because I'm gonna be doing some resin over top of this anyways. So it just needs to have like enough of the color there. I could add like a little bit of pink there, just to really kind of help accentuate it, but I think it's fine. Oh, you know what? I never did the metallic silver for this. We might do that tonight too. Just need like a subtle red right there just to cover that spot up. A little bit of the clay showing up right there. Some red. Right up just a little bit in some sections. Back through this a little bit. Maybe too much. So when it dries, it's not going to be as dramatically red. But I do want the bloodied sections to have a little bit more of a contrast compared to the rest of the kaiju, because I don't want it all looking the same red, so the Nashi bits look a bit more gored. Hey, Riz. Hitting underneath the jaw with a little bit of black just to hide some of that. There we go. That looks pretty good. A little bit of red there. And a little bit of the tail here. Yeah, Resident Evil, Godzilla. I think pretty much about there. I need a little bit of color for the eye. I think I'm just going to go with a yellow with a white pupil. Because his eye kind of came out like hot dookie anyways. So. Oh, why is my eyeball stuck? Where's my paint stuck? There we go. I was like, I just need a dab of yellow. Pip Patel, where'd you go? I forgot to thank you for making that the game intro for us. I will say, could maybe use to be a little less chunky in it, but I do appreciate you making it nonetheless. Except you're a horrible monster, and why do you hate me so much? Don't understand. I've lost like 20 pounds. Alright. I kind of want to make it look like he's got like a little bit of a glowing eye. Doing like a hard yellow. And then going in with a bit of white for the like the iris area. Oh, actually, no, what would be cool? No, they got it for my pupil kind of place. As a little bit of white and paint on my thumb finger would be great. I was like, that scarlet red might be kind of cool. Make his eye look a bit more like forward facing. And then just a little black dot. Oh man, I would have been down for another Zilla. Yeah. Had Zilla, his eyes painted, he's looking forward, looking angry and perturbed the world. There he is. Beanie jaw. Nails are painted. Spines are pretty much done. Bone coloring's done. Oh yeah, the missile thing. I wasn't planning on doing rub and buff today, but I guess I can today. All right, we're just gonna put a little bit of rub and buff on a piece of plastic here. I don't need much. Just a little bit of rub and buff on something I don't mind throwing away because this stuff is potent on a brush that I don't plan on using anymore. At least for purposes other than rubbing buffing. I'm just going to lightly go over top of this. rubber buff is like one of my favorite things because it's metallic. It's like this. It's a metallic silver, but it's not like gaudy metallic silver like with big flakes. It's a really nice pearlescent, very metal looking. Once it goes on and dries, it'll give that like a really nice contrast to the darks and reds. Just leave the brush alone. You take that. I can go bye bye. It's 6 o'clock. We got some time still. Oh, because I got a shark that needs some epoxy, buddy. Because God forbid I don't have enough commissions. I actually turned down one. I was like, I got enough. Plus, there's like the whole aspect of me wanting to make an actual Sofubi, so that's gonna take some time. But yeah, got another shark to paint. Honestly, I love this thing. Like this is like one of the coolest shark toys to come out in a long time. Yeah, like they were all sweet. Like the Sigor was solid. I liked him a lot. I didn't really grab any of the other ones, but they all looked pretty unique. But the only thing that sucks is this one's kind of got a bit of a loose tail. But the guy that's commissioning this wants it to have. Yeah, as I turned down, I got what? I'm currently working on Orga. We got the Shalai. When that comes in, I got to work on it. Still wrapping up Zilla. I have Angerus. I have the Gandalf. Gandalf? Ganondorf? Whatever the bad guy's name from Zelda is. Gandalf is from Lord of the Rings. Anyways, I got the Angerus custom that I got to work on. Plus, Ganondorf. Plus, there's a Sofubi guy I want to do. Hopefully, I'm not missing anything else. Oh, and I have a 2000 Godzilla that I just worked on the head, and I have parts for him coming. And I still have to 3D scan your beam and work on that a little bit here and there. Yeah, be done. As long as you're not in a rush. Yeah, I like Silent Hill. I never really got into the new ones, but I really enjoyed the older games. I like a good survival horror game. So that being said, I probably should look up images of a shark's tail so I know what I'm doing. Because my brain just goes like, just cover this in epoxy and call it a day. It should be the right shape. I still don't know why he wants the tail. He's okay with the body because initially it was getting rid of all the metal pieces except for the jaw. Because the jaw, when you paint it, looks close enough. But he wants the tail done. But I'm not here to question. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got a little bit of. I got to put a little bit of effort into it. It's pretty much what it is. Terminator Jaws. So essentially, I gotta have this connect. Possibly not be as. It needs to come down more. So I actually have to make a little bit of tail. And then thick enough to kind of line up with that. Still swing side to side. I haven't. That I want to see it, but I'm gonna wait till it comes out on like streaming. Then I'll check it out. The only movie we're going to see this month is Iron Lund. I already got tickets for that. Fairly excited for that one. That one seems like it should be pretty cool. So I think I want to kind of follow this, like this being my curve and this being my curve here. I think it's fine. I just got to extend that down and then sort of fill this in. Oh, I feel like I should go grab some tinfoil. I feel like my life would be easier if I go grab some tinfoil. Yeah, fudge it. I don't feel like going upstairs. We're gonna start it, and then if I regret my decision, we'll right that wrong. Hopefully, I got enough epoxy putty here to do this because I'm pretty much almost out. So the next commission I get in, I'm definitely gonna be order some. I was like, probably what's going to be like part of this once I get this done and paid for is using the money from this to order some more epoxy. Yeah, we actually reviewed a few on this. We reviewed the first wave on the channel. I still have to pick up Raiden Reptile, and I need Melina. I think are the ones I'm missing right now. But I got a few pre-orders showing up. So I'm holding off until I know how much I'm spending. I tried to sell a couple of figures, but that hasn't been going too well. So apparently, at the everything that I like that would sell, everything that would sell well, I like, and everything that I'm like, yeah, I don't mind getting rid of it, doesn't sell really well. No, not yet. You're talking about the image creator one? Also, this you can tell this epoxy putty's because one tub will last me. I've probably had that tub for like a year and a half. It's now I'm almost out. Because I think I got that tub when we worked on the X Plus, the foldable X Plus, because I needed more putty. And I think that was the start of that tub, was that figure. So I definitely don't have enough to finish the Anguirus. It'd be close. Because I know I got to sculpt the back of the head for sure. Oh yeah, there's the Kratos, yeah. Alright, that looks pretty mixed. Waxy putty, you just want to make sure it has like a uniform consistency. And it all looks pretty light gray to me. Oh, I might have to grab a little bit of water, but usually my water from my pink cup usually works pretty well. I'm already at I don't want to complain about it because they gave us a spawn with the cape. So I'm already like excited enough. And I'll eat the accessories with them. I want to try to follow the curvature of this tail as much as humanly possible. Then wrap the clay just enough around the top so that blends nicely. Need a little bit out, just so shark. Well, at least with great whites, they got that little, just like the figure here has like that little pectoral fin. I don't know, pectoral. I don't know what you call it, but it has like a little second fin thing going on there. Those got that little spiky bit there. Work on covering this side too. Funny enough, I usually make too much epoxy when I'm working on stuff. Because I'll be like, yeah, that should be like, I'll probably need more, and then I never do. And then this one is going to be, going to need to probably make some more. Okay, so we got that going. I need a little chunk here. Because I need to make the line for the shark follow here and here. It's gonna need buddy. There for sure, certain. More than likely the rest of this I'm probably gonna need for the rest of this tail. Might be alright though. So you either hide the little spike there and then curve that in a little bit more. Oh. Because it definitely needs to be more angled down. Actually, solve that problem right now. Use this just as something to be hard inside of the putty. Pringles are good. I like me some Pringles. You know what? Before I get that in depth with it, I think I need to read. Where is the bottom of the plastic? There it is. Okay. We're gonna cheat. At least the folks are gonna be cheating. I need that. Oh, don't tell me I don't have the glue. Yeah. Why is everything upstairs? Thought it was in the tote. Oh, there it is. Okay. I like the pizza one. Pizza Pringles are my jam. That. Stick that there. Teensy bit of accelerant. Both sides. Man, this gel does not like to work as well. Because my store ran out of the normal stuff, and the gel doesn't work nearly as good with the accelerant. Alright, that feels a little more secure. Okay. I'll try to wipe some of it away real quick. I just gotta be a little careful not applying too much pressure here. Yeah, like this side's not even attaching the way I want to. Like that's already fucking wiggling. We're gonna give it a go. Okay, so hopefully once it gets a putty on it, it just needs to be just strong enough that I can mess with it without it just jiggling all over the fudging place. Okay, comes the tools. Like this guy. A little bit of water. Right now, I'm just trying to use some water just to smooth this out a little bit. Picked up any non-Godzilla highest? Not yet. I do want to get the Mega Man ones. I almost wanted to grab them. Do they have a Ghost in the Shell one that looks really cool? But yes, the Mega Man figures do look freaking sweet. A little more putty there. Yeah, that didn't hold together worth the damn. Yeah, well, anyways, right now I was just trying to smooth the clay out. Right now I got a little bit too much clay there. Yeah, this would be so much easier if that thing would have stayed in place like it should have. Ugh. Let's try this. Hold in place for a minute. See if that helps. I'm just gonna hope and pray when it holds a little better than what it was. I can also always sand this down a little bit too if I don't really like how it is. Which might be the case I'm doing with this one. This might be just a get it in the right shape and call it a day. I can sand slash adjust it afterwards. Is it having a little bit of wrinkles here and there? Isn't that big of a deal? Needs to be sharper still. Okay. Needs a little bit more of a tip. Sorry, I got a little quiet. I'm trying to focus on getting this done real as fast as I can. A little bit of putty there. And like a little bit here just to hide this joint a little better. And take it back. Put out. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of sanding. Ugh. Monsters, Space Gods. Oh, if I was a betting man, I would assume probably something like Godzilla, but with a lot of crystals. I'm thinking sort of like Doomsday from the Justice League movie. Hopefully with a better plot, but I'm gonna venture a guess and yeah, I think you're just gonna be a second pass one. They're probably gonna have to go through, do a little bit of sanding, and then fix whatever. But I think that's good enough because it's already getting kind of hardened. So yeah, so I'll just be going through with the Dremel and shaping it out a little bit afterwards. And then any parts I need to fix, I'll fix them. But I think that's good enough for right now. Oh, I say that, and then I noticed one thing that could be a little better. It's this part right here. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Like I said, I'm gonna let it cure, do a little bit of sanding, and then if I gotta make it look better after that, like do some adjusting, I'll do it then. But I think that's a good first attempt. You just hang it on the garbage can. Shimo and Godzilla. Yeah, kind of. Maybe they take the DNA of both of them and smash it, but then I'm like, how does that go with the supernova theme? Don't understand. Thank you. I think it's canon. It could be better, but the epoxy is curing much faster. Plus, with the crap that kept happening with it, I like it currently. It's just gonna definitely need some sanding, and I was hoping to not have to do that. Sanding, and I might have to add like a little bit more putty to it in certain areas, and then try to smooth that out, which is a pain in the butt. Oh, might be able to get. We could probably get one more pass on him real quick before I go. I wanted to work on the Sofubi, but I think I'd rather get another pass of paint on this guy if I can than working on that guy. I could work on him more tomorrow upstairs. Oh yeah, Entertainment Earth's great. Actually, if you're going to be buying from Entertainment Earth, we have a link in the description. If you buy stuff going through the link, I get credit for it. Greatly would appreciate it. But yeah, they're my go-to for anything that I can get free shipping off of. Because they do like the free shipping over, I think it's $80 right now. That's where he came from, was Entertainment Earth. They know I'm talking about them because I just saw it pop up for them. But yeah, no, they're fantastic. I would say they're a little bit slower at getting stuff in the Big Bad Toy Store, but I haven't had any issues. And the one issue that I had with them, they fixed it like in no time. Their customer service is really great. Because I pre-ordered my MonsterArts Angers through them, and they charged me what the original price was, and it actually got marked down sometime during the time period. So I emailed them and they reimbursed me. But yeah, no, they're fantastic. I like them quite a bit. It's one of the reasons why I was trying to get an affiliate link from them because I like using. I do like using them quite a bit. Oh, so what else came from there recently? The Fallout figures were from there, and then my Dash Rendar that we never did a video of on here. He was from Entertainment Earth too. But no, they're super great. Everybody that I've ever shilled for on here, we have used their products before. Except for the newest one coming in, which I'm actually kind of pumped for. Because a company that makes display cases got a hold of us. That make like little cubicles, essentially, for your action figures. But they're like dust proof lighting. You can adjust the sizes on them. So they're really good if you got like a certain like high end, like if you got like high end items you really want to keep protected, or if you just hate dusting. They seem real. It seems pretty sweet. So I'm excited for that one to come in to mess around with. Because they're supposed to be sending one in the size so that I could put like the prototypes that I have because they're bigger. They should be able to fit into it, or hopefully an X Plus Godzilla. But they'll be cool. Then the prices don't seem too bad for what it is. Hopefully it's sweet. I don't want it to come in and then just be like, well, we're going to do the video. And then nothing ever out of it. Because I definitely like it when companies that actually have something to do with our channel wants to send it, give us sponsor stuff. Although I do miss the food one. What the hell were they called? It's slipping my mind. The Munch Packs? Those were great. I loved those ones. I wish we sold more of them. They ended up sending us stuff. We were selling like a few of them here and there, but not enough for them to like be sending us one every month, you know? So they're like, yeah, if you want one, you're going to message us and we'll like give you a discount. And I'm just like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not going as heavy in some of the spots with the gray now because, like I said, it's like his shoulder cannons and around here don't need to be as like the as gray as the rest of the body. And plus, like some of these spots, I'm gonna try to hit like a little harder with the metallics. It's pretty much like his armory bits. I'm trying to get a little bit more gray on them. But the more fleshy bits don't really need it. Heck yeah. Looking good. Looking like an Orga. Yeah, so the next hit will be going over with the silvers and a little bit of a like his face gets a little bit more of a blue on it, and then his tummy gets like brighter highlights. And then teeth, mouth, nails, yeah. But super sweet. Yeah, it would be cool. I guess he already has the UFO. I need to print another one of those. I wish the big printer didn't die. Oh, I don't want to get a new screen. They're expensive. Well, not super expensive, but I have to get them off AliExpress, so I'm concerned. If I don't want to spend a bunch of money. And hopefully they send me the right one. Yeah. Because tomorrow I want to try to finish filming and starting to get the Five Nights at Freddy videos out of the ones we did a bit ago. Yeah, the screen, the UV screen, the ribbon peeled off, partially peeled off, so it's useless now. So that sucks. I would say I would make one, but I'd be honest, I don't know if I'd have enough time to really do that. That'd be the problem. Is if I make like custom beams, I have to like upcharge the meaning out of them because I have to. It's for specific things, especially this, because like who else is buying an Orga beam? At least right now, you know. And then if the MonsterArts Ahaya makes one, then that beam probably won't work with them. It might, but still. I'd have to charge like for sculpting and modeling and making the file and printing the one. It's not really worth the time, you know. So especially something I usually charge like $15, you'd probably be spending more like 50 on it. Let's say that being said, thinking of my brain, like what would one of the beams I make would already work, but probably. Oh, actually, no, his beam's white yellow, right? So it wouldn't work. I was just thinking, I was like, I have one of the. It's a print that failed, but it would probably be a cool beam for him. But then it occurred to me, I'm like, its problem is it's blue. I was gonna say, do I have it sitting around here? Oh yeah, right here. This guy. This failed beam from a hot minute ago, but it's like close. Like if I sanded it down a little bit, it'd be pretty spot on. The problem is it's the wrong color. So if you like this one, I can sand it down and do a hard paint over top of it, so it wouldn't be translucent, but I can get it the color. Yeah, this was one. I think it was like the first attempt on a Final Wars beam. No, this was the Heisei one, but I messed up the sizing for the mouse, so the tip was here too far. This is one of the problem reasons why I was wanted to do the 3D scanning, like a sculpt beams, is because I had such a hard time trying to size everything to fit. It was a nightmare. So hopefully I'll be get doing that here soon. Like a 3D scan. So I gotta get the spray to do this one for sure. And then I'll probably touch it up a little bit in the Blender. I'll probably work on it a little bit on there. Make it look a little more beamy. Well, anyways, I think we're gonna call it good because I'll be honest, I'm tired. I haven't sleeping good lately, so I think about trying to go to bed a little early tonight. Be cool. Anyways, if you guys didn't see, like I said at the beginning of the stream, is currently I'm working on trying to make a Sofubi style figure. This one's gonna be more movie monster series. I do plan on trying, if this goes good and people are, and I get like a decent amount of people excited, because when I make a prototype, I might make a, I don't know, maybe a Kickstarter. I'm not 100% on how I want to go about it. But if I get enough people interested in it and wanting to pick up an Obsidious figure, there's other ones I would like to do. For instance, finishing off the Unleashed monsters. I'm for sure doing one more like this one. But I worked on his head like a little bit more today. I made the cracks a little bit longer and then added a little bit more to the side of the head. But the rest of the lava's done. I got added a little bit of separation on the spiky bits here. And that would be good. I sculpted out the body, so the shape. This is the shape. His head goes here. But I'm trying to do. My game plan is to get all the limbs done, so that when I work on the body, I'll be able to get everything the size right. I didn't damage anything, did I? I got a little bit of clay right there. The nice thing about monster clay, when it's cold, when it's a bit on the cold side, it's pretty firm. Well, it starts warming up the more you mess with it. So you got like a little bit. So where you're holding on to is not the part you want to be messing with. But I got that So the head's mostly done, and I started doing one of the arms. So here's the top of the shoulder. I got pretty mapped out on how I wanted to look, because I wanted to look like a bunch of rocks kind of fusing together. The other way to go with it is I could just make cracks throughout it, because that's kind of how the model looks. But I'm trying to make it look a little bit more unique. And then got his forearm kind of started, and getting the fingers kind of fused, shifted the guy. The nice thing with this guy is I kind of messed up with the tinfoil. I made him a little too thick, but because of the way he's gonna look, it'll be fine, because he's very rocky looking anyways. So if there's like a piece of aluminum foil sticking out through it, it's not the biggest deal. So the hand's like 20% done. I still gotta do like all the lava here, get this all set up. And then, so to get both the arms done, I gotta get the legs done, get the tail done, and then I can do the body. And then once everything's good, I still have to figure out exactly where the cut, how to make the parts that connected to the body. I know how they do it. I just don't know if it'll be like the right way I want to do it. So we'll see on that one. He's kind of my test. If he goes good, people are interested. I do want to make. I'll probably make one channel one just for giggles, mainly for myself. But we'll see if people like it enough. I'll probably try and make more. But I want to make a Marmot style crying GMK. So you'll be sort of chibi-fied a little bit, and then you can, like, the arms will be able to move, and then you can bring his arms up to his eyeballs, so then he looks like he's crying. It's kind of what I want to do with that one. So it'll be like Godzilla with like closed eyes, and then he would just look like. I'm still trying. That's the one thing is I don't know how how I'm gonna replicate tears. If I'm gonna make like little bubbles, like detail tears on them, or the other thing is because he's a marmot. So I want to do like marmot style, so it'd be like metallics. Is when I do if I do an airbrushing on him, I could just do a metallic blue on his eyes and just make it look like it's running down. That's kind of where I'm thinking, but I'm more worried that's just going to look like he's got a runny mascara. But that's kind of what I want to do. So you'd have like he'd be like metallic himself with some kind of airbrushing for the spines and the claws and such, and then would have like metallic blues for the crying. So it's just pretty much figuring out what colors work best, because they have to be blues. It's kind of like blue, silver, body. I'm not 100%. Maybe doing like black for the body, doing like a graphite. That I kind of like. I almost like that idea. Actually, now I think about it, I could make him Imperial. Make him look like the Imperial. That might be fun. That might be a funny idea. So he'd be like metallic green with silver spines and then blue crying. I kind of like that idea. Maybe between that or doing a Marmot style Imperial Godzilla, saving the color for that one. Oh, at least we got a lot of practice sculpting, so that'll be fun. But anyways, you can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys like you, but the day with channel donate, greatly would appreciate it. I'm not sure how tomorrow's going to go for this channel. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have a gaming video up for sure on the gaming channel. I got to see if Arnez put one up. I'm hoping he did. He's got the day off. We'll check. We'll check while I'm sitting here. Well, like I mentioned earlier, we do have a link in the description for Entertainment Earth. If you guys want to help support the channel that way and get your stateside collectibles there. It's my usual go-to if you use the free shipping. If you're looking to pick up some Haya figures or like the Link Ji-Hoon Pacific Rim figures, or the Meditoys is doing like the turtles that look really cool. Calcus is my recommendation for that. We got a link in description for them. You can save 6% off your order too with code Steve Calcus at checkout. Real Style 98. Yeah, I was gonna say because if Crying GMK, if I make him and people like him, I would definitely be inclined to be like GMK, a Shin, and a Zilla. If I did Zilla, I would probably make him more news reportery because of the action figure news. That's kind of where my brain's going. So it'd be like Zilla with a suit. Shin's the only one I can't really quite figure out where I want, like the catch I want for the figure. Because GMK is crying. Shin's pretty much just a jerk. That's his defining. He's a jerk that sounds like a chronic smoker. All right, does have videos on the channel. Success. All right, so I'll be posting that here when I get done with the live stream. So if you guys are interested, we have a link in the description too for the gaming channel. We just started up. We only have 34 subscribers right now, so it'd be cool if more people would join. And we lost all the viewers we had, so well, we got a couple back. Go check out the gaming channel. Greatly would appreciate it. Anything else I'm missing? We got Dashery. If you guys like to get our logo on apparel, that's down there. I still gotta get some for ourselves. I've been meaning to do that. Wait for the YouTube to come in, and I'm going to use that to get there. Hammer videos. I actually have stuff set aside. Actually, we got quite a bit. I was hoping to do it last week, but things didn't work out too well. And it's been like, we live in Michigan. It's currently 3 degrees outside. So there's that's going on. What else? Oh, we also have a Patreon. If you guys like to support the channel that way, also would appreciate it. We have a Discord attached to our Patreon. It's also the best way to go me for commissions. The next best thing is the Etsy. And then finally, my personal Instagram, which should be down there too. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Might stream tomorrow, because like I said, I want to keep kind of sculpting him, so maybe I'll work on that on stream. Because lately he's been like doing that while I'm watching Casey, so she's running around playing with stuff. Check out Godzilla Winnie the Pooh. He's got a honey pot. Is this your advantage? Leave a toy outside overnight in bed. Could possibly, yeah, because what? I got a Digiturtle we got smashed. That was actually sent in by a subscriber. Got some from the Discord that we got smashed. We got some Power Ranger stuff. I think there was an Albedo we were going to be smashing too. Like I said, there's a few things. There's still actually got like a wrestling figure. We got like a vintage wrestling figure that's signed, and we still got smashed too. I just always kept forgetting to bring it to Arnez's house. Because the other thing I do is airbrush, but that I can't do on stream. Sadly. Well, I could, but just loud noises.